Hello. So today I thought we would paint a wave out on the ocean crashing into the shoreline. Something like this picture here. You can just see the wave cresting over. It's got the big body here and all the foam up on top and everything. I'm going to show you how to do this in a couple easy steps here. So I got my big studio paints here. I've got a piece of paper. This one is taped down just to a square piece of board here. And I'm going to do that because I need to get this paper a little bit wet. I'm just going to spray it with my spray bottle and let it get nice and wet. I'm going to let that soak on there. I'm going to actually grab a piece of paper here. Just pat that down. I want it to be wet, but I don't want it to be runny wet. Then I'm going to grab, this is my Princeton Neptune number 4 mop brush. I like this if I'm doing a larger area. I want to get a lot of paint on here. This is a great brush. These bristles hold so much water. So I'm going to start with a little bit of Payne's Gray. I'm going to sweep down that way, and then I'm going to follow that. Whoop, I'm going to follow that with a little bit of my cerulean blue, kind of like that. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just going to make a few quick swipes. Looks like I need to refill that cerulean blue. And while this is still wet, I'm going to pick it up, hopefully let it run and fill in a couple of these areas. As I move it, you can see that water and paint just running all over, and it looks like this area, just a couple of areas here just didn't get quite enough water. I want to just let that run and let some of this color get all over. And you can see, maybe you can't see, I hope you can see, that we've got a lot of different mottled colors going on here. I'm going to put in a couple of more, just in a couple of random places. And what that's going to do is give a lot of energy to our sky that's up here. Then I'm going to come down, excuse me, I'm going to come down to the bottom. I'm going to use some of my phthalo blue. I'm going to mix that with a little bit of burnt umber and get a nice dark color. I'm going to spread that along, maybe a little bit more blue here and there, a little bit more burnt umber here and there. There we go. And I'm going to let that spread up a little bit. I'm sorry. I must have a little something in my throat right now. I'm going to take my paper and I'm just going to fold it up a little bit. I'm going to make a couple of lines like this. There we go. And that's all I'm going to do for right now. Actually, that's not all I'm going to do for right now. I see up in the corner I've got a couple of little pools up here. I don't want them, so I'm going to dry my brush real well. Just going to tap on the sides and let this brush just drink all of that water, that excess water and paint right up. And now I'm going to dry this. I'm going to pause you so you don't have to hear it dry. I'm just using my normal hair dryer here, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm done drying, and I will tell you, I basically just dried the bottom. The top up here is still wet. I'm going to let that dry at its own rate. I'm done working on the sky. It's going to be what it's going to be from this point forward. I might just want to take a little bit more of that moisture out right around that seam of tape right there, but for the top part, basically I'm done. I'm going to work now everything from our line right here and on down, and that line is going to be where the wave starts to crash right over the top. I'm going to step down to my normal Princeton Newton brush. I'm going to get a little bit more of the phthalo blue and my burnt sienna, burnt umber. It just makes a nice dark neutral tone. And I'm going to come right on the bottom of that line that we just made. And I'm going to tap and push up and just make a little bit of a broken line there. Just like this. Something like that. Just tap that color right in there. And I'm going to just very lightly bring that down. And you know what? I'm going to mix a little bit of olive green in with that just to get a little bit of color. The water isn't always just one color, so I want to get a few more in there if I can. And we want to, way up the top here, we want to keep this just as dark as we can. That's right under the lip of the wave. That's the darkest it's going to be. Okay, that wave, imagine that wave coming right over the top like that. Down here at the bottom, while it's still just a little bit damp, I'm going to take just a little bit of that color out. I don't want it quite as dark down there. And then I'm just going to touch a little bit of water on there just to make sure that that runs down that little bit. I'm going to Okay, so this is our second wash. We've got just our basic wash, the whole thing to begin with. Took a little bit of white off. We're putting some color on underneath the wave, and we're almost done with this. Let me pause you one more time. I'm going to dry this, and we're going to come back and finish it up. Okay, here we are. I've got this nice and super dry, and we've got to do a couple of things here. Now, you'll remember a couple of videos ago, I talked to you about using white on your paintings. And I don't do it a whole lot, but I think this is one application where this would really work out well. So I'm just going to use my China marker, and I've got some little bits of an oil pastel. I'm going to work these in a little bit, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to push this up and just scribble right in through here. I'm just going to go just over our line that we made here and just on the top side of the part that we took off. Yes, I realize this one is pretty thick. That's okay. And I'm just pushing hard. I'm not doing lines and circles, jagged edges, smooth edges. This is a wave. Just imagine this thing breaking with all of its power right there. Okay, and right off the board on that side. There we go. Now we can take, this is a, I don't know, some kind of light blue. I'm just going to put a little bit of this in there. Just very lightly. It's going to help to give a little bit more definition and a little bit more motion and action to this wave. And maybe I'll put a little bit of this gray in there also, just to make it look like this wave is really doing something, really churning something up. Okay, you can see it just looking like it's coming over. So to me, it looks like it's coming this way a little bit. So I'm going to take this, I'm hoping I can smear this on here just a little bit. I'm going to take this and I'm going to make some lines down here. Actually, I need to do it with something that is a little bit of a stronger color. Let me try the blue here. A little bit of a stronger color, just in the way of that wave. I guess I do need a little bit of white. You've got some foam in here. I got the string from this all tangled up in there. There you go. If you can give some form to that wave on the inside, There you go, and just put some scratches down here. In fact, maybe I'm going to put just a little bit more of our color. I'm going to just give a little bit of, there we go, a little bit of dark in here to complement that light I just put in. Not even much, I'm just barely touching that paper. Just letting it go in whatever pattern it wants to go in. Okay, and just trying to give a little bit here. And you know what, I think I've got a lot of green down here, and I've got a couple of colors up in the foam, but I think I need a little bit more foam over here. Actually, this needs to be a little thicker, I think. There we go. That looks better to me. I think I need a little bit of a greenish color in there. I'm going to take a little bit of my olive green that I used there and just a touch of my sap green. And I'm going to water that way down. I'm just going to come in here. This China marker is pretty waxy, so this won't stick all over. It'll pool a little bit, but if I get some green up in this foam to reflect the waves from underneath, I think it's really going to set it off. There we go. There you go. I think that's pretty good. So there you go. That is a quick and easy wave. Got a little spot too much. That is a quick and easy wave. I'm going to sign mine right now. That you can make into a nice painting. It didn't take long. It wasn't hard to do. I know you can do it. If you do attempt this, let me know. I would love to hear how it turns out for you. I'm going to post this one online. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give a like to it. Share my video with your friends, anybody you think would enjoy seeing one of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you back here in the studio painting with me another time. Thanks so much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.